at Cavalry Cemetery on which installment payments have lapsed. Now, those inclined to plot their futures submit sealed bids to Leo, who also has diagrams of said boneyard, available for your perusal. It's a grave situation indeed. All right, that's it. Let's roll. And hey, let's be careful out there, huh?
What's all this stuff about funeral plots? I mean, what's the big deal?
You kidding? People are dying to get in.
It's just a way of planning for your future, that's all.
I just don't see any reason to plan that far ahead.
That's also real estate investment. Works.
Leo, can I see the cemetery diagram?
Sure, Luce. You know, I'm not so sure I even want to be buried like that.
Thanks.
You gypsies used to get stuck.
Roy Rogers' horse and stuff.
And it still works. Leo! Here's a sealed bid on plot 7.
Lieutenant, which one is that?
Oh, it's this one right here underneath the spreading chestnut tree.
That's the one I'm looking at.
Well, Bates, I suggest you make a competitive bid.
Morning, Miss Davenport.
Morning, Leo.
Who are you voting for?
That's a secret.
Joycey! Joycey!
Alice.
Congratulations.
You want to speak with an
For the marriage. I haven't seen you. You're looking marvelous.
Thank you. How have you been?
Wonderful.
That's good.
You know, Joycey, it occurs to me that there's always been a kind of emotional barrier between us. An ambivalence.
I just thought we didn't like each other very much.
Well, you know why I think that was? Because I admired you. And our culture's archaic, male-female dynamic prevented me from expressing my admiration.
I'm glad, Alan.
Your fashion sense is uncanny.
Thank you.
Does the clutch purse work with this, or do you think I do better with a shoulder bag?
We have a 911. Armed robbery in progress. See surplus store, corner Peebles Drive, on 24th Street.
Should read, the roses were lovely, Alan. No, just Alan. Thank you so much. Oh, Frank, here you are.
Counselor?
If I could have just one moment of your time.
Come on in.
As executor of Murray Kaplan's estate, I represent the interests of Murray's Wonderland. I was approached yesterday by a party seeking to purchase both property and inventory at the ridiculous price of 20 cents on the dollar.
Alan, I better go through the files.
Certainly. Of course, I explained that because of Murray's death, the estate is frozen in probate. Gesundheit. They countered by suggesting that we sidestep probate, predate the purchase agreement, and that with my power of attorney, I sign as Murray's proxy. You all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just have a little sinus condition.
Change of weather. Naturally, Frank, I demurred. It's not only illegal and unethical, as a business move, it's a bust. At which point, these fellas started pointing their noses to the air, saying things like, "Do I smell smoke? What are these walls made of? Cardboard?" See where they're going with this.
Where are you going with it, Alan?
I want protection, Frank.
What about that wrongful death suit you were making so much noise about?
Does that shove me out from under the robes of the law?
No. Certainly merits our attention.
Good for you, Frank. I can't tell you how relieved I am to hear you say so.
How did you leave it with these people?
Meeting them at Murray's this morning. Presumably to execute the contracts, or failing that, sing songs around the campfire.
I want to put a wire on you. We want to get them on tape.
Whatever it takes, Frank.
Don't you think it might be a good idea, Alan, if you wore a suit and tie?
And unravel 8 months of intensive therapy. No, I don't think so.
You could get hurt, Alan.
And putting on a suit could induce a psychic tremor that rockets me into a prenatal coma. No disrespect, Frank. You obviously have a lot to learn about gender re-identification. Lucky for me, I was going to wear my Aries chiffon number.
Yeah, they'd have seen right through it. What about here, Mick?
Oh, please, Lieutenant, you ruined my definition.
How about in one of them?
In one of what?
Inside here.
My bosom?
Oh, that's good.
Murray, I hope somewhere you're watching what I do for you. Come on. Come on.
Officer, over here.
What's the problem, ma'am?
You see him down there? That's the man I called you about. Now, we told him repeatedly, no campaigning inside prescribed limits. And he's very polite, but he just keeps on with it.
You see, my position is simple. I don't have the answers. But I think that if we can start asking the right questions, then the answers are going to spring forth full-blown, like Athena from the head of Zeus. Thank you very much for listening. Just for a moment. Good day, officers. You're here to cast your line in the sea of monolithic indifference. Let me introduce myself, Scripps. Randolph Scripps. I'm a man of few means and no end in sight. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Randolph Scripps. Would you ever stand right there for a minute, please?
Mr. Scripps, you see this line right here?
Yes, that is a white line.
That's right. Now, Mr. Scripps, the election rules state that you're not allowed to campaign any closer to the polling place than this line right here.
It's not so much a line as it is a metaphor.
No, sir, it's a line. You're not supposed to cross it while campaigning.
A boundary, then.
That's right.
A mythic demarcation. On this side, faith, hope.
Stand back there.
And on this side, there's despair, loathing, and the sepulchral gloom of the pit. Excuse me. Hello, my name is Scripps. call me a fool, but I think there's a better way. You think that the world is out of balance? Do you think that your life is out of tune? Well, whose hands are on the keys?
Hey, Scripps!
Why is the music so dissonant? Just look around.
Mr. Scripps, I'm sorry to say this, sir, but I'm going to have to take you in.
What a world. The sky is so blue. The earth is so green. Time is so full of possibilities.
Doris Robson came to our community some 18 months ago with high hopes. She didn't bring much, but she had her little Jimmy. He was the foundation of her dreams. She had a fierce love for this boy and his future. Miss Robson tells me that her son loved to read and act out stories for her. And he'd greet her that way when she'd come home. But sometimes she'd be so low, it would be hard finding work, and work wasn't easy. But he made her laugh. He lightened her heart. She loved him so. This one life, this small, fragile life, he hung on to life even as it was taken from him. He clung to it. We mourn and grieve for this good woman's loss. And we ask, what can we learn from this life? This life teaches us the wisdom of forgiveness, because this is the Lord's way. He teaches us, and we bless him. Receive unto the hands of the Lord this good boy in a place of peace, as restful as the hopes his mother held for him. May God rest his soul in peace. Amen.
Oh, dear. Oh.
This city's government has to take a stand above partisanship and address itself to the greater issue of justice. I'm sure that Commander Cleveland would join me in assuring that substantial reparation will be made to Mrs. Robson, and soon. In a situation as clear-cut as this, there's absolutely no excuse for hesitation. This woman's tragic loss demands our attention,
Hello, Captain.
And our
I was coming to see you today.
Everyone feels for her loss. I feel for her loss.
I don't think the gravity of the occasion warrants that kind of discussion.
But what about my loss, Captain?
We're simply going to do
Have you seen Mike?
Today. They said maybe today.
To demonstrate this city's
How are your kids?
They sent my junior home from school yesterday.
This is a funeral, not a press conference.
He got into 3 fights. Boys were calling his father
A little later,
a dirty cop.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.
A kid killer.
Think it'll help any if I talk to him?
I don't know. He's very angry right now. Mike is a very good father. He's a very good man. I just wish they understood. I have to go to the hospital now. They said 11 o'clock.
Maria, sorry. Could I come by later and talk to your son?
If you'd like, Captain. Thank you.
Frank, you catch the news last night? That clip of your ex waving her baby in my face?
I missed it.
Yeah, right. Well, if Ozzy wins, he should appoint her commissioner of unprovoked hysteria. Frank, it's in the bag. Took a secret poll last night. Extensive. We're 3 points over the margin of error. We're in.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been doing a lot of thinking, Frank. Down the road, I'll be nominating someone to take my place in the chief's office. You're your own man, Frank. But time and again, you've been Johnny on the spot for me. A cool head in a crisis, the way you handled this Robson thing. I obviously can't make any firm commitments yet. But this could pay big dividends for you, Frank.
So you are laying it off on me.
Dennis, some people are simply more effective following orders than giving.
The letter you read at the debate hung me out to dry.
You'll remain deputy chief as long as you continue.
You listen to me! Promises were made to me.
I've waited too long. I've worked too hard.
I've buried too many bodies to lie down and let somebody else walk over me.
Dennis, this is not the time.
I'm gonna bring you down. You mark me. I'm gonna bring you all down.
Man's an empty glass, Frank. A lot of them in public life. He's just not front-rank material. Oh, Mrs. Ferrillo. So that's what I've been thinking, Frank. I hope it doesn't displease you. Both of you.
Something to think about.
First, there's still this small matter of an election to win. I trust I can count on your vote. Eh, Chief? That's my guy. Let's go.
He called you chief. This a joke?
Maybe. Probably.
You're not laughing.
But I've heard it before.
Here. Mr. Scripps, I'm Lieutenant Henry Goldblum. How do you do, sir? I understand our officers explained the electioneering restrictions to you.
Yes, quite thoroughly.
Then you do understand you're not to campaign any closer than the lines allow.
Yes, sir. I won't be doing it again.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just that... Well, I have so much ground to make up and there's so little time. I just announced my candidacy this morning.
Politics is a funny business.
Yes, it's funny, but it's essential.
Well, I think we can let Mr. Scripps go. Let's not have any more trouble out there today, shall we?
Certainly not. This is the kind of thing I want to address only after taking office. Pleasure, Lieutenant.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
You're a lucky man, Mr. Scripps. You get to go home and watch it all on TV now, don't you? You ain't gonna be here
Henry? Henry,
Hi, Faye.
are you busy tonight?
Why?
I just got a call inviting me to Cleveland headquarters.
Really? What for?
I don't know. He probably saw me on the news last night. Anyhow, the aide said he wants to meet with me.
You say why?
No. I don't know, Henry. I just have this funny feeling like something's gonna happen, something good. I can't explain it.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
I guess so. Anyhow, my mother's gonna babysit. Can you come?
Of course I can.
Henry, what if he wins? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I wouldn't hold my breath.
But it's possible, isn't it? I mean, he really could win.
Sure it is.
Hello, Liz.
You.
How are you?
Why didn't you tell me you were a cop?
Well, you never asked me.
There was a lot of insincerity in what you did, you know?
Well, I apologize. It's part of the job.
I guess.
You know, Liz, I so enjoyed our talk the other day. I was wondering if perhaps we couldn't meet in some more congenial environment.
Absolutely not. No chance. Forget about it.
Well, friendship isn't impossible under these circumstances, Liz. I was seeing a lady of your occupational persuasion till quite recently, until our cultural differences became too pronounced.
Ed, read my lips. No way.
Okay. All right.
Ed? Still got some time left.
Oh. Right. I am searching for a subject that commends itself to brevity. Whoops. Liz?
Ed?
Do you want... Oh, would you rather I just go away?
Your token. Ed?
Yes?
Yeah, I'd like to.
You'd like me to go away?
No, to talk. I mean, you seemed like a pretty nice guy the other day. That's why I was so PO'd when you turned out to be a
Rat,
cop.
I can't find it.
What?
Another token.
Oh, we can't get it up from outside.
Do you hear me clearly in there?
Yeah?
I read you very well out here. Would you call that symbolic, Liz?
What?
Why, aching for exchange, confronting the walls of the isolated past, the barriers of our natures.
Is Ed your real name?
Howard.
You're kidding! Oh, God, that's my father's name, too. I like you.
I like you, too, Liz.
Try to get it up.
Sorry?
Well, I can't get it up from this side. Try it from your side.
Liz? I can't raise it.
Well, go get tokens.
All right.
Hurry.
Wait. I'll be right back. I'm going for tokens.
I gotta talk to you.
Hey, look, can't up now, babe. Here, take my card. Give me a call at the precinct later on, okay?
This looks like it's gonna work, Alan. How does it feel?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Hey! Give me some tokens. Hurry.
Something wrong?
I don't know yet.
Guy's hot to trot, huh?
Hey, what can I do for you?
Hey, good looking. But Truax, naughty fashions. You must be...
In charge.
Who's the eyeful?
Mr. Kaplan's attorney.
Oh, God rest poor Murray, I just heard. I've been coming in here 7 years. Murray Kaplan was a saint. Had a heart like a side of beef. You been with Murray long?
Not that long, no.
Murray, they broke the mold after that guy. Man understood.
Liz, I'm back. We can take our time. I got lots of tokens.
What was it you wanted exactly?
Well, as a matter of fact, just got a new fall line. You take a look, touch, you feel. This is a hot little item we call the Iron Maiden. Black patent Corinthian leather, stainless steel stays. Knock 8 inches off the most indulgent waistline.
You want to move over here, bud?
Certainly.
Right on time.
Mr. Roblick's gonna notarize our agreement. He lost about 4 days right after Pearl Harbor. Been trying to get him back ever since. Funniest thing, he thinks it's last Friday.
Whether you're coming or going. Invented by a double-jointed little
If you could go over the particulars one more time.
Nice dress, nice face.
Well, I just want to make sure we're in complete synchronization before we finalize the agreement.
What's the problem?
Do you smell smoke in here?
You know, it is a bit smoky, isn't it?
Look. Well, I call him I was a fugitive from...
Please, let's not hasten this unnecessarily, my friends. I simply want to address both your problems and the problems of Mr. Kaplan's family.
That's touching.
Do you smell smoke?
I think he gets the idea.
No, I mean really.
It's a wire! Police, freeze! No guns! No guns!
Got him covered, guys.
Mike, Captain Furlow's here to see you.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? Hear you've been having a tough time in school.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Listen, maybe if you...
Why don't you just get out?
Why don't we both just get out? You feel like taking a walk? Your brother and sister play here?
Yeah.
You come here too? You know what you're angry at, Mike? And you know why? You're angry at your dad, aren't you?
You've seen all the stuff about him.
Think it's true?
I don't know.
He's a good cop. He always has been. He still is.
He killed him, didn't he?
Yes. But it was an accident. He was doing his job and something happened he couldn't control. That could happen to any cop. Anytime. That's what the job's like. I mean, that's why cops are different, you know?
My kid's mother must hate my dad.
Yeah, at first she did, but she forgave him. If she can forgive him, you can too. You have to.
Now what am I supposed to do when they make fun of me? When they want to fight with me?
Well, the best way to show them how tough you are is not to fight back. Mike, people are going to say things because they don't know any better. Because they don't understand. But you have to take care of the family now. But your mom needs you. Your dad does too.
What's going to happen to him? Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he is. It may take some time, but...
I'm scared.
I'm going to see your dad today. Is there anything you want me to tell him?
Tell him to come home. Tell him that I love him.
Frank, we got the two arsonists.
Clean bust?
We lost the wire, but we may have enough without it. The lawyer's here. He's with Wachtel in interrogation.
Let's call ADA Bernstein.
He's already with
Frank, you better take a look at this. 9 years, the last 3 as deputy chief. A man I once respected. But reflecting upon his shameless manipulation of the events of the past couple of weeks, I can no longer in good conscience remain silent. On October 24th, following the shooting of Jimmy Robson, I had a meeting with Chief Fletcher Daniels in his office in which he suggested that we prosecute Mrs. Robson on child endangerment in order to, and I quote, take the heat off the department and my candidacy.
Frank, they're getting a little impatient out there.
Hill Street Station, where after a meeting with Captain Frank Furillo and Assistant DA Irwin Bernstein, Mrs. Robson was arrested by officers from Hill Street on the order of Captain Furillo. Chief Daniels yesterday disavowed knowledge of the bringing of these charges. That is a blatant lie. People will question rightfully why I've waited to come forward. I can only say that my own culpability has become more than I can bear. I fully endorse the candidacy of Commander Cleveland, a man whose integrity is beyond reproach. I am proud of the years that I've served this city and this department, and I am looking forward to many more.
Captain, this is the check from the Robson Fund. I'd like to have it delivered to Mrs. Robson in her apartment. I'd like it to be a couple of uniforms.
We'll do it after we vote.
Appreciate it.
Unacceptable, unacceptable, unacceptable.
Frank, this is Arnold Ames representing Garden Waste Management Systems.
Pleasure.
I want 1% for our good faith and 1% for the royalty.
What do we have?
Working on a triangulated agreement, Frank. It's a little complicated.
Not because of me.
How's the burn?
First degree, thank God. If my brassiere had caught fire, I'd be fighting for my life.
You're here.
I'm here representing the 3 men you have in custody, Captain.
The arsonists.
Alleged arsonists.
Little, Andrews, and Roeblich.
All employees of Gardner Waste.
It goes as follows, Frank. Gardner Waste has agreed to come up considerably from their original offer for Wonderland.
90 cents on the dollar.
Mr. Kaplan's family would also retain a royalty for the continued use of Murray's good name in connection with the
1%
Wonderland.
of all gross incomes.
I want 2% with full oversight access to all accounting procedures, or it's not going to fly.
Please, Alan, just let me finish. Representing the interests of the Kaplan family, Alan would agree not to pursue a wrongful death suit against the city. We've agreed on a cash settlement, thereby avoiding a lengthy trial.
Cut to the chase, Irwin.
I've spoken to the DA and the Corporation Counsel. They've cleared it from our end. We will decline to prosecute the 3 men arrested at Murray's this morning.
Threats were made that fully justified those arrests.
Upon reflection, Frank, I think the remarks concerning smoke and fire were sufficiently ambiguous.
Since when do we trade arrests to protect special interests?
Your men were going to be named in that civil suit, Frank. It's your interest, too. So if you will agree to release these 3 men, I think everyone's interest in this matter can be very neatly served.
I want my 2%.
Alan, does your fire insurance specifically cover arson?
1% we could live with.
Excellent.
God forbid Mrs. Kaplan should have to worry.
Excuse me, Frank. You had about 20 calls regarding Mahoney's statement.
Later, Ray.
And Chief Daniels is in your office.
Can we go ahead, Frank?
Let's see, why not? Seeing as how everybody's interests are being so neatly served here.
Frank, you're a very special person.
Chief?
Do me a favor, Frank. Reach over and pull this knife out of my back, will you? I always knew Dennis was a little tightly wrapped. It was effective in the right spot.
Live by the hatchet?
Polls are only open 4 more hours. It's probably too late.
Even so...
I'm issuing a statement at 5. We'll position him as a disturbed, disenfranchised functionary. There's his therapy history to deal with, too.
What therapy history?
Hospitalized for depression twice. Been under a psychiatrist's care 6 years now. Oh, very hush-hush.
That has to be out of the personnel record. You can't reveal that.
Somebody's already revealed it, Frank. I'll simply comment on what's public knowledge. You want to be there for the statement?
I don't think so.
Now, on your end, Frank, questions are going to start coming fast and furious. Want to lay low for a while?
I'll be all right.
We'll see it through, Frank. They can't very well go back and change their votes, can they?
Not to my knowledge.
Of course not. They'll see him for the lunatic he is. Well, gotta go vote myself now. Then the missus and I are gonna bowl a few lines and head over to the hotel. Hope to see you there. Thank you, Frank. Thanks for everything.
Quincy's gone, Murray's gone, got nothing now, nothing.
You still got your job.
How long you think that's gonna last? You think they gonna pay these new dudes? They don't pay, man. I gotta walk.
Maybe that's good, Vicky. Why don't you get yourself on the program, huh? Get yourself straight. You know, you probably could turn things around for you.
I've done programs. Don't preach me programs.
What do you want me to do, huh, Vicky?
You can hire me.
As what?
Be your snitch.
Sorry, Vicky. I'm kind of over my budget on snitches.
Look, I got you, Quincy, and I got your pictures in the paper. You guys come in, police operation, big deal, and you just shoot up people's lives, shoot up the way they live, and you think you can just leave?
Hey, what can I say, huh?
You owe me!
Hey, you look here now. I don't owe you nothing. You are a stone junkie, and I just saved your butt from going to jail.
You didn't save me from nothing! You just shoot up people's lives!
Hey, look. Still got the card I gave you? You call me next week, okay? If you got something for me, we'll talk. Now go ahead.
What's eating you?
Nothing.
Then why are you acting like a cigar store Indian?
I just can't get it out of my mind.
What?
Dying. All that talk about cemetery plots. I know it's dumb, but it's making me nuts.
Okay, it happens to everybody.
It's like you know you're gonna die, right? And when you've been dead for 1,000,000 years, that is just a fraction of how long you're gonna be dead, which is forever.
It's getting morbid in here.
At least if I got stuffed.
Hey, nobody gets stuffed.
I've been reading this book about Egyptians.
The Egyptians did not get stuffed, they got wrapped.
They got stuffed and then they got wrapped.
Any unit in vicinity Decker and 76, 411 in progress. See the man.
And it's right around this corner.
All right, what's going on here? Who called this thing in?
Here, officer. I'm not trying to do anything. I came out. This guy tried to get some money from me.
Scripps.
When I refused, he grabbed a hold of me and tried to take my wallet.
Officers, thank goodness you're here. Unhand me,
Let the guy go.
$1. Just $1 from every citizen would be enough to put me over the top. Now, that's not asking too much, is it?
We're gonna have to take you in.
But I'm not guilty of anything except perhaps a slight overzealousness, considering how belatedly I started my campaign. It's perfectly understandable. It's this ungodly pressure. The polls close in 3 hours. Voter awareness of my programs is certainly not catching fire. It's uphill all the way.
I don't like this hallway one single bit. It'll only take a second, Andy.
What?
Mrs. Robson, please?
She's busy.
Just wanted to give her something.
She doesn't want anything from you.
It's a contribution to the fund for Jimmy.
Easing your conscience?
Hey, pal, there's over $1,000 in that envelope. We all collected
That what a dead child's worth these days?
What's the trouble, John?
No trouble.
Ms. Robson.
Officers?
Our condolences, ma'am. This is for Jimmy's fund from Hill Street. Please accept it with our sympathies.
John, you could go inside now. Officer Hill and Ranko, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank the other officers for me. Thank you for your kindness.
Please, we must find some way to expedite it. I've got to get back out there.
Mr. Scripps, 2 arrests in such a short span of time make that problematical.
Well, if there's any hope of holding that back from the public until they've had an opportunity to make their decision free from the cult of personality based solely on the merits of what each one of us stands for, then...
Mr. Scripps is running for mayor.
Miss Davenport. I fervently believe that there is still among us and in us a quorum of decency, that the hearts of the people of this country are vibrant with goodwill, quiescent perhaps, but just waiting to answer a call. And I intend to sound that call.
Mr. Scripps, once the election's decided, can we assume your urgency about all this is going to relax?
Well, unless, of course, we carry the day.
And if you don't carry the day?
Well, naturally, that's a prospect that no politician is fond to consider.
But if you don't, could we assume that there'd be an end to the kind of incident we've had today?
Lieutenant, only a fool flies in the face of the democratic process.
How eager is complainant to pursue?
I've explained the court appearances to him. He's less than enthusiastic.
Polls close in about an hour.
There should be some paperwork to clear up.
Take about an hour.
Can I go now?
It'll take a little while yet.
You're going to give me a solemn promise that you'll stay out of trouble for the rest of the day.
My hand on it, sir.
We'll see what we can do.
Lieutenant, if we should fall short today, you'd honor me if you would consider coming aboard and managing my next campaign. I know that I barely know you, but I sense that we share a vision of the essential wonder of this world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Then what happened?
Well, I went back to the booth and she was gone. She must have been frightened or confused. Oh, Judas, who knows, Harry?
But what troubles you?
What troubles me is realizing that I am attracted to these fragile, victimized, neurotic women. I mean, she is hardly the first, Henry.
Fragile ego structure.
I guess. What I can't reconcile is that consciously this prototype, if you will, is the furthest imaginable person that I envision spending my life with.
What's she look like? Have an idea?
Certainly. She's blonde, mid-30s, self-assured, confident, professional. Got solid career prospects. She's tall and slim. She moves with the supple, muscular grace of an athlete. Or a dancer, which in fact she may once have been. She's
Willowy?
willowy and sensual. Frank in the expression of her needs and desires, but completely capable of the most genteel femininity. Stylishly understated dress, well-read in history and poetry, firm grasp of her own opinions, but a light, musical laugh, a firm handshake. Maybe she wears glasses.
Maybe she's out there, Howard.
But where, Henry? Where? You know, I always get a kick in the old adrenals every time I give that lever a yank. You know, when I'm in that booth by myself, I can't help but feel the weight of the mantle of freedom. It's like the hand of an old and trusted friend.
Freedom demands participation, don't you think?
Yes, it's an obligation.
I'd say it's a sacred responsibility.
I must say it is heartening to know that there are enough of us left running counter to this infernal apathy to still make a democracy of it.
Oh, shoot. I wasn't in there 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes.
Madam, allow me.
Allow you?
Allow me to dispense with this inconvenience. I'm a police officer. Lieutenant Howard Hunter at your service.
Oh, would you, Lieutenant?
It would be my very distinct pleasure.
Lieutenant, you're a dear. I've had 4 this month already. You salvaged my day.
Well, whatever I can do to help.
Where are you stationed? Please, let me call. Perhaps buy you a drink. Give me a chance to more properly express my gratitude.
Hill Street. Hill Street Station.
Well, wonderful. I'll be in touch.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Thanks again. Bye.
Bye now.
Who's that?
Sometimes, Henry, life is kind. Woman's taking my wallet.
With 14% of the city's precincts reporting, we're projecting a 56 to 42% margin. A stunning, decisive victory in the mayoral race for last-minute replacement candidate Ozzie Cleveland. Supporters are gathering now at his election headquarters at the Oakwood Hotel for what will undoubtedly be one of the most joyous victory celebrations in recent memory. Cleveland began his campaign just 10 days ago, after the tragic death of Councilman Benjamin Fisk.
Who did you vote for?
I asked first.
Listen, I gotta go see Mike Perez.
You want some company?
Yes.
I understand we have a concession.
Action is to go downstairs to the ballroom and thank all those wonderful people who worked so hard.
What appointments do you plan to make?
Who fills the office you vacate? Before you ask any more questions, I'd just like to say that I believe that this is the dawn of a new era for this city.
That's right.
We have an opportunity now to revitalize this city, to take it in new directions, to make it a great city again. Tonight, I just want to thank God and the people of this city for making this possible. I feel blessed. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go downstairs and tell all those wonderful, exhausted people to take a deep breath and enjoy tonight, because tomorrow morning the hard work is just beginning.
Don't cry. All right. Down. Out of the way. Out of the way, please. And if you're coming in, let's go.
I'll go get help. No. I want you to understand.
This is what you want?
It was a present. Please, I want to hear.
Listen to me! You should never come here.
I love everybody.
Quiet! Don't talk.
Unit's downstairs.
You take him.
Midtown.
County General, psychiatric. I'll meet you.
Okay. This way, Mr. Scripps.
Cuff him. On your graduation, 1964, love mother and father.
Mike?
Captain Frillo. It's good to see you, sir.
I want to thank you for seeing my son today. Maria told me.
Oh, I was glad to do it.
I'm very grateful. Well, I understand that we have a new mayor this evening.
Mm-hmm. Ozzie Cleveland.
Well, it's good. It'll be good for cops, for all of us.
Yeah. I think it will be.
I'm coming back, Captain. I want you to know I'm not going to let you down.
You never did, Mike.
Well, they want me to stay here a few more days, but I told them I want to get back to work. I'm ready.